Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are...
Hopefully awesome.
That's right, a positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And today's geeky thing is... Beast Wars! This is Going Back to Beast Wars, our weekly podcast show video where we talk about Beast Wars. We are going over the entire series on the lead up to Transformers Rise of the Beast. That's right. So we'll be rewatching, for me, this is Maggie's first time watching, the entire series, and we'll also be going through Beast Machines as well, so that'll be fun. In order to accomplish that before the movie comes out, we will be watching at least 4 episodes a week. We will let you know what episodes to watch for next week at the end of each episode. So, if this is your first time watching us, welcome! We hope you enjoy your stay here at Going Back to Beast Wars. Remember, if you would like to watch these, they are available for free on YouTube, not our podcast, but the actual show on YouTube. I don't have the actual link, but it's Al's Replay, AL''S Replay, where they have AI converted the episodes to 1080p and 4K. If you're a purist and you want to watch like the original stuff without any kind of interference, that's fine. I think they have it on Tubi or DVDs. You can do that. But honestly, I've watched the show before, like I said, and it looks like the show I remember. So take that for what it is. But enough of that jibber jabber jaw. It's time, because we're going back to Beast Wars. Beast Wars! Beast Wars. Not gonna lie, I almost said we're going back to Smallville.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie.
I can't remember what it was. I was gonna look at, it was God, it was something, one of the segments, and I was like, Smallville? I can't remember what it was. It's going to drive me crazy.
You're fine. So, we begin this week with Season 1, Episode 5, titled Chain of Command. No chains appear. I was surprised. Episode 5 overall. Original air date was September 24th, 1996. Written by Jesse Winfield, and directed by Andrew Ducetti. Ducetti?
Oh, that's...
Yeah. We'll say Ducetti. Ducetti.
Doucette.
There we go. So, we begin with the Maximals detecting an energon crystal under the cairn in the standing stones. I guess there's like a center piece, and they detect energon in that, in the middle of the standing stones. Rattrap thinks it reeks of bait, and Rhinox notes that the energon on the planet isn't natural, as it does not conform to the planet's geology. The Predacons attack, putting an end to the discussion. During the battle, Terrorsaur purposefully fires directly on the buried energon crystals, causing it to destabilize. His prize now useless, Megatron orders a retreat while the Maximals head for cover as it builds to overload. But instead of debilitating Energon Wave, it sends a signal to the stars, depleting the crystal's energy. With the Predacons gone and the Energon reduced to dust, the bewildered Maximals return to base. Later, an alien probe emerges from transwarp space and enters the atmosphere. The Predacons initially mistake it for a stasis pod, but Rhinox immediately recognizes it as something else. Both sides head to intercept it at the Standing Stones. Optimus, Primal, and Dinobot confront Megatron and Waspinator, but when they transform and begin to battle, the probe puts out an energy blast that renders them unconscious and causes Primal to vanish into thin air. A disoriented Dinobot awakens in the Axelon's CR chamber and, seeing 3 angry Maximals standing over him, momentarily mistakes it for a Maximal torture chamber. That is a great part.
It's a torture chamber.
No, you'll never take me alive. The probe, as it turned out, somehow dumped Dinobot, Megatron, and Waspinator outside of their respective bases. Believing Primal to be destroyed, Dinobot attempts to take command of the Maximals. Rhinox heads off a fight between Dinobot and Rattrap by insisting on a secret ballot, the traditional Maximal method for resolving such problems. After the vote results in stalemate, with 2 votes for each contender, Dinobot giddily rebukes the shortcomings of their peaceful solution. He declares that he will break the tie by force and prepares to attack Rattrap. Before the fight can begin, they are contacted by Optimus Primal, who is not dead. Primal's body has been digitally stored, but his consciousness remains active within the probe. He is. It's just straight up Zordon. Optimus puts Rattrap in charge. Dinobot glares at him. Why in God's name would he put Rattrap in charge?
I didn't understand that because he annoys the crap out of me. I would put
Rhinox.
Yeah, Rhinox.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought Rhinox was second in command anyway.
Yeah.
Like, just based on the way he acts and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe there was something in, like, the bio about Rattrap being, like, some sort of, like, second in command on, like, the where they would go explore stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's the case, and, like, it's just a layover from that, but it really would have been nice to have a little bit more of a... yes, exactly. Anyway, we digress. Megatron, also believing Primal dead, sends Scorponok and Waspinator to the Standing Stones while the other Predacons attack the Axelon. Dinobot fights Megatron one-on-one, ignoring Rattrap's orders to disengage and reset the Axelon's failing shield circuitry. Rattrap scrambles and is able to restore the shields at the last moment. The Predacons retreat when Dinobot beats Megatron back, and Dinobot apologizes to Rattrap for not following his orders, affirming himself dishonored. Dinobot's uncharacteristic deference and respect makes Rattrap uncomfortable, and he brushes it off. The Maximals head to the Standing Stones where the device Rhinox is built to attempt to extract Optimus from the probe. The Predacons attack them at the stones, Rhinox unloading his frustrations on Waspinator when his device malfunctions, blasting him to bits with his chain gun. Waspinator shorts out and comes in contact with one of the stones, which activates, revealing the entire Standing Stone site as a single device. The probe opens in response and Primal materializes. The Predacons retreat before his considerable firepower, but the probe dematerializes before the Maximals can decide what to do with it. Optimus commends commends Rattrap on his performance as commander, though Rattrap is more than happy to hand the title back. The Maximals are left wondering what the probe's purpose was, and Rhinox ominously observes the aliens have learned they have the ability to reason and of their destructive capabilities. Yeah, that the aliens know that not only do they know that we have reason, but they also know how destructive we are. So, not a great first impression.
No.
But you know what is a great first impression, Maggie?
What?
A word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/hopefullyawesome.
That's right. At the $5 tier, you can have access to every episode we make ad-free and have your name listed in the credits of every video. At $10, you'll be able to get access to our all-new exclusive shows right here on patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. Those include Hopefully Weekly, a weekly show where Maggie and I catch up on all the things that's happened over the past week, both in our life and in the world around us. Family Game Night, a weekly show where Maggie and I will play a variety of board games, from Blockbuster Party Game all the way to Fast and the Furious Heist Game, whatever that is.
Highway heist.
The Hopefully Awesome movie commentary that we'll do once a month, where Maggie and I will watch one of our favorite films and then record us talking about it over it. Kind of like a mix between Mystery Science Theater 3000 and, just us goofing off and talking about nothing related to the film. And lastly, Matt plus Maggie. This is our monthly show where Maggie and I talk about our relationship. I don't think we'll be giving any advice, but hey, tune in. It'll be fun. And if you want to go above and beyond at the $25 level, not only do you get everything that we've just talked about, but you also get a verbal shout out as our Patreon producer of the entire month. All this and more.
So sign up at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome today.
All right. Thank you for that word, Matt and Maggie. We will be sure and do those things that you mentioned. Remember, if you'd like to get this show ad-free and early, you can head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome, where you can get those things. But now we return to Beast Wars. Season 1, Episode 6, Power Surge. This is the 6th episode overall in the series. Original air date was September 25th, 1996. Written by Larry DiTilio and directed by Nicholas Kendall. A wild and free bird majestically soars through the air, experiencing the wonders of aviation as it feels the wind flow around its proud wings. The bird,
I can't do it.
The bird explores its domain with a grace and sincerity and deliciousness. The lattermost attribute is of interest to a hungry Terrorsaur who quickly swallows the bird as a snack. How weird that, they have to eat.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
thought Energon was the bon appetit, chef's kiss.
Let me throw some out there. Do we think that the reason why they had to use like fossil fuels was because they were part car? And like they have to eat because they're part animal? I don't know. We need more instructions on this. Maybe we'll get some answers in Rise of the Beast. I'm joking. Terrorsaur discovers a massive mountain elevated into the sky, defying gravity. Flying closer, he discovers the mountain houses an incredible cache of Energon. Who would have thought? To check with the Energon stability, he transforms into robot mode at the risk of having raw Energon radiation harm his circuits. When he tries to take a sample for study, bolts of pure energy surge through him, greatly enhancing his abilities. Naturally, the first thing the overcharged Predacon does is fly back to his base to overthrow Megatron. Luckily, Cheetor also finds their airborne crag and watches Terrorsaur leaving at top speeds.
I've never seen Terrorsaur fly that fast before.
Whoa, Monkey Bite, you got to see this. He's flying faster than I've never seen. What? Come on, Big Bite. Outside the Predacon's crashed ship, Megatron shows his troops some newly installed territorial defenses. Terrorsaur arrives and, flowing with power, immediately announces that he's taking over the Predacons. Megatron obviously disagrees, and the two fight, but the pumped-up Terrorsaur easily blasts Megatron over the edge of a cliff. When he lands in pieces, with the remaining Predacons under his control, Terrorsaur announces the Maximals are his next target. Cheetor, having followed Terrorsaur from the floating mountain, perceives the new developments as bad news, Big Bot. Before he can lead the final battle against the Maximals, Terrorsaur finds his new charge has a short life, and he must return to the floating mountain to reinvigorate himself. Tarantulas follows in secret, eager to steal the source of Terrorsaur's new capabilities. Scorponok is left alone with Waspinator, so the two begin to reassemble and repair Megatron.
Yeah, you left the two most loyal ones to Megatron.
You never leave Bulk and Skull behind, all right? Otherwise, that's what you're going to get. All right?
Me loyal to Megatron.
Me loyal Megatron Scorponok. Waspinator. Cheetor rushes back to the Maximal base and scrambles onto the bridge, where he spits out an incoherent sequence of words vaguely relating to the current crisis. Giving explanations a second try, Cheetor explains that the story thus far to his fellow Maximals. Rhinox concludes that the floating mountain isn't totally scientifically impossible, given enough energon. Optimus, Primal, and Rattrap prepare to destroy the entire island. A weakened Terrorsaur flaps back to the island. On the ground, Tarantulas climbs a web line to the suspended formation. Optimus and his cargo, Rattrap, arrive moments later. The two watch Terrorsaur recharge his systems to give Rattrap time to plant the explosive. Optimus Primal engages Terrorsaur in an airborne chase. Prime swiftly dodges most of what Terrorsaur fires, but eventually is hit by his optic blasts. He lands to deliver the finishing blast to Primal, who is now trapped in his beast mode thanks to the Energon buildup. But before a final shot can be fired, Terrorsaur's Energon enhancements run out again, and he is forced to go for another recharge, promising to return to finish Optimus. Rattrap, meanwhile, has been tussling with Tarantulas, the two of them staying in their beast modes as they wrestle. With a toss of mud, Rattrap blinds Tarantulas, and the spider blindly runs off the side of the mountain to the ground far, far below. Rattrap is passed by the flapping Terrorsaur and concludes that Optimus Primal must have lost their bout. Terrorsaur, meanwhile, discovers the time charges Rattrap left and flees in panic, deprived of a chance to recharge. The explosives detonate, causing the Energon crystals to collapse and explode. Before the ground loses form, Optimus arrives to carry Rattrap away from annihilation. With his ratty companion, Optimus Primal swan dives off the exploding Alp, and somehow the two survive thanks to Primal grabbing onto a tree. Terrorsaur, no longer having the mountain's resource to rely on, returns to base to meet a very, very angry repaired Megatron. He turns white as a ghost, squawking out, "Help!"
And that's where it ends.
That's where it ends. He turned gray like Optimus Prime did.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Optimus died?
Yeah, I remember when Optimus died. Help!
Was that?
Help!
I gotta say, the landing on the tree part of this episode, I was like, really? Does that how gravity works there? I guess you could say they were trying to defy gravity.
Oh, my Lord.
I guess they'll try defying gravity. And you can't bring them down. You're having delusions of grandeur. All right. Next up, Season 1, Episode 7, Fallen Comrades. I feel like I turned my volume. There we go. Episode 7 overall, the original air date was September 30th, 1996. Written by Bob Forward and directed by Steve Ball. I think they did the pilot, didn't they?
I think so.
That sounds right.
Steve
anyway.
Ball.
A field of debris circles the planet. Among the wastes, a stasis pod. It falls from orbit and enters the atmosphere. Both the Maximals and Predacons watch as it falls into the distant, icy northern sector. Rather than immediately going for it themselves, Megatron decides to ambush the Maximals' only flyer, Optimus Primal, as he goes for the pod. At the Maximals' base, Primal is anxious to retrieve the pod containing a fellow Maximal. He falls for Waspinator and Terrorsaur's trap despite Dinobot's attempts to protect the Maximal leader. However, Dinobot is able to prevent the Predacons from taking Primal out of commission. Back at the Predacon base, Megatron is disappointed to learn that Optimus Primal has survived, but realizes the Maximals must now send a ground party to retrieve the stasis pod. This will leave the Maximal base undermanned and vulnerable to attack. Megatron dispatches his flyers to race to the pod, while he, Tarantulas, and Scorponok go to attack the Maximal base. Meanwhile, Rattrap, Rhinox, and Cheetor run towards the pod. As they go, they remark that while leaving the base with the damaged Optimus Primal and Dinobot may have not been the best idea, it was their only option. Rhinox goes on to say that they need to hurry because if the pod is damaged, the protoform robot within will be exposed to the planet's dangerous energon fields. Indeed, this seems to be the case when the stasis pod is shown opening as the protoform arm reaches from the pod and immediately begins to short out due to the high energon. As they come to an icy bridge across a crevasse, the Maximal team is met by Waspinator and Terrorsaur. After a firefight, the Predacons knock out the bridge and the Maximal's best hope of getting to the pod quickly. Rattrap radios back to the base and informs Dinobot of this development. He accesses Optimus Primal's core consciousness in the CR chamber and informs him. Primal suggests that they send a laser transmission to the pod by bouncing the signal off something. Outside of the Maximal base, Megatron and the other Predacons observe Dinobot setting up a laser transmitter on top of the base. Megatron offers Dinobot a chance to return to the Predacons by handing over the base. Dinobot responds by shooting Megatron with his eye lasers and then promptly shot by Tarantulas and Scorponok. Although damaged, Dinobot is able to activate the base's auto weapons, which quickly dispatch the Predacons. Megatron then calls off the assault to join the pursuit of the pod. With the transmitter in place, Optimus Primal is able to bounce a laser off one of the planet's moons and to the stasis pod. Both the Maximals, the Predacons, flyers, and a nearby white tiger witness this development. The pod's DNA scanners come online and begin scanning its surroundings. His regeneration complete, Optimus Primal puts Dinobot in the CR chamber and begins his own flight towards the pod.
That's a torture chamber, remember?
Meanwhile, back in the northern sector, the Maximal group arrives at the pod to find Waspinator and Terrorsaur struggling to reopen it. The Maximals warn the Predacons to stop, but soon Megatron arrives and threatens to kill the two white tigers if the Maximals do not surrender. They agree, but when Megatron opens the pod to reprogram the protoform into a Predacon, he finds that the pod is empty. It turns out that one of the white tigers was the new Maximal, Tigertron.
Yeah.
As he and Optimus Primal join the fight, the Predacons soon realize they are outgunned and retreat. Primal welcomes Tigertron to the team and thanks him for his help. Tigertron tells his fellow Maximals that his identity circuits were damaged in the pod's landing and that he was not sure who he was until he saw the Maximals were willing to risk their lives to save the Tigers. He declines Optimus Primal's invitation to go back to the base with them, stating that he needs to stay in the wild since he is still more Tiger than Maximal. Still, he promises his loyalty to the Maximals as a scout. The Maximals head back to their base and leave Tigertron with the other white tiger. Tigertron. Tigatron. Tigatron. This whole time I thought it was Tigertron.
That's all good.
They were talking about in the Transformers wiki I was looking at that this is the first character that is a color swap of another character.
Yeah.
Basically when they did the toys, that Tigertron was just straight up Cheetor's thing.
Yeah.
But just recolored. And like, I think they said they changed the head out.
Yeah.
Like the head was a little bit
yeah.
bigger.
I can see that.
But like, other than that it was the same like build. And so so this character in the show is very much like Cheetor as far as design wise. Now they are vastly different from each other.
Yeah.
Like you'll see in later episodes that like he is definitely much more mature and subdued, you know?
Yeah.
He reminds me of Ken Watanabe, honestly.
Okay.
Like in Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know? Like he's just like very reserved and respectful. Yeah, and it's interesting that like again we're seeing the Maximals, like I guess there's this thing that they don't really talk about, but where they value all life. And I mean like the tigers being there, like Megatron's willing to kill them and they like immediately don't, just for these tigers.
Yeah.
You know, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's just a thing we're supposed to know about the Maximals, but like, you know, we never hear it anywhere, like as to why they value life so much.
Yeah.
Other than just they're good guys.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that they'd be willing to, you know, let a protoform be turned into evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of letting a tiger die on a planet that they crashed on. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying it was the wrong move by any means. I'm just saying I'd like to again have a little bit more info on why. You know, the why of it all.
Yeah.
Next up, season 1, episode 8, Double Jeopardy, starring Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones. We begin with Ashley Judd being framed for the murder of her husband. It turns out that he is actually still alive, and when she escapes prison, she tries to take him out again, noting that you cannot be charged for the same crime twice. So when she kills him this time, it'll be double jeopardy. Was it worth it, everybody? Was that
I don't
worth
know,
it?
man.
Honestly, threw all that out there. I didn't write any of that down. Like that was just off the top of my head. I have no idea if that's even how the movie goes or anything. Like I saw it once because my mom rented it when I was like 9.
Yeah.
And like that's all I remember.
I think I've only watched it once and I can't remember anything about it.
I remember being like, "Where's Harrison Ford?"
Because Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, because it felt like a fugitive movie.
Yeah.
And then it was like, it wasn't, you know. Anyway, this episode 8 overall, entitled Double Jeopardy, the original air date was October 7th, 1996. Mm-hmm. So it does look like they only play 3 in consecutive order. Mm-hmm. And then like the week. So I don't know if they played on like Monday. I'm sorry. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday or.
Ooh, you want me to find out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's look up October 7th, 1996.
I'm trying to remember which calendar does this the best. Okay. 1996. Let's go back in time.
Going back in time.
Boom, 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 boom.
TGIF. We're going to get some pizza rolls. And
What's the month again?
October 7th, 1996.
October 7th. That was a Monday.
A Monday. What was September 30th?
A Monday.
A Monday. Wait. What was September 25th? Oh, wait. Do they only play weekly? No, wait. What was 25th?
Wednesday.
September 24th was a Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they just played a few and then they started going weekly.
Yeah. I bet that's what happened, just to see if they could draw in anybody.
Yeah, because this says September 30th, and then the next one is October 7th. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Interesting. Mm-hmm. So they went week to week. That's when. All right. Written by Jesse Winfield and directed by Mark Scheiman. Dinobot and Optimus Primal explore one of the planet's frozen regions, looking to retrieve the latest stasis pod. They find the pod overhead, hanging over the edge of a cliff, and protected by the 3 Predacon goons. While Terrorsaur and Scorponok bomb the Maximal duo, Waspinator grabs the pod to lift it back to the Predacon base. Primal sees the theft and flies after the bug, but is brought down by a shot in the back from Terrorsaur. With Primal down, the Predacons scamper away. At the Maximal base, Optimus Primal laments regarding the frequency of the Maximals being ambushed. Primal calls Rattrap into a private meeting, making it clear he suspects Rattrap has been feeding information to the Maximals' enemies. Rattrap denies this, and Cheetor and Rhinox can't believe it. As a test of loyalty, Rattrap is sent on a mission into one of the more dangerous sectors. At the Predacon base, Tarantulas reveals the new Predacon made from the captured Maximal protoform, Blackarachnia. Yeah, she's pretty great. She's great. Afterwards, the first female character only took them 8 episodes to get here.
Well, and also, they're going to have problems in the workplace because
Tarantulas.
I second guess myself every time I try to say his name.
You're fine.
Tarantulas decided to make her into a spider because he's a spider.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
He's wanting some.
No, she's not going to give it up.
He's wanting some Protobot, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but she's not going to give it up.
No. I mean, she's definitely a femme fatale.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the name Blackarachnia definitely is accurate to her character.
Yeah.
All right. Taken from a Black Widow. What does a Black Widow do? She kills you. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
It's gonna be very hard for me to refer to her as Blackarachnia.
Yeah.
Because I keep wanting to say Black Widow.
No.
And that's just been ingrained into me for 10 years now because of Marvel. you know? But no, Blackarachnia is great. Definitely helps out this freaking sausage party of a Beast Wars that we got going on. So afterwards, they use their radio to eavesdrop on Rattrap's radio reports on how Rattrap's mission is going. Hearing that the rodent is by himself, Terrorsaur is sent out to destroy Rattrap.
All right.
Terrorsaur and Rattrap battle, and with Rattrap unable to hit his target, Terrorsaur is able to stand over his enemy, his gun right in Rattrap's face. Despite desperate for his own survival, Rattrap bargains his own loyalty to Terrorsaur and the Predacons, while the rest of the Maximals listen, astonished by the change. Back at the Predacon base, Terrorsaur introduces his new underling and, with said underling's aid, overthrows Megatron.
Again.
Who is placed into the Predacon brig. Because he still can't be trusted, Rattrap is also imprisoned. The 2 captives are placed in cages and suspended over a flow of lava. Of course, Megatron has anticipated his own imprisonment and escapes with a simple computer command. Once Megatron is out of sight, Rattrap picks the lock of his own cage and jumps over the lava to freedom. Sneaking through the base, Rattrap follows another actual rat. He passes by a Predacon computer console and discovers it contains a Maximal computer chip, explaining how they were able to listen to the Maximal radio frequencies and anticipate the Maximal's movements. After removing the chip, he continues his sneaking, but activates a security alarm and is caught in a security web. He escapes, but Tarantulas follows Rattrap back to the suspended cages, compromising Rattrap's operation, or so he would be, were it not for Rattrap silencing the arachnid with a gunshot. Oh, God. Jeez. Rattrap's hardcore, man.
Yeah.
The Maximals begin an attack on the Pred base to retrieve Rattrap. With the other Predacons looking to him for leadership, Terrorsaur panics, even more so when Megatron pops up right next to him, free from his cage. But he dons to give Terrorsaur rope? D-E-I-G-N-S. I feel like it's missing a letter.
But he designs to give Terrorsaur rope? Okay.
But he doesn't give Terrorsaur rope to hang himself, or he gives Terrorsaur rope to hang himself, follow Terrorsaur's leadership as the Predacons counterattack. Rattrap is freed to help in the defense and on Terrorsaur's orders. Opens fire on Optimus Primal, scoring a direct hit on his former leader. After the 2 armies bounce off each other for a bit, Megatron gives Rattrap the opportunity to destroy Dinobot, but Rattrap declines and shoots Terrorsaur instead, giving Dinobot the time to free himself by kicking out some of Megatron's teeth. The Maximals take Rattrap and retreat, with Terrorsaur's command shown to be a total frack up. Megatron effortlessly resumes command of his forces and rubs in the defeat. Back in the Axelon, Optimus Primal explains to his friends that the entire betrayal was a charade, a ploy to let Rattrap into the Predacon base and find out how the Predacons have been listening to the Maximals' radio communications. So again, we've already mentioned Blackarachnia. Yeah. Definitely a good character in this one. Mm-hmm. And she also... she actually gets to fight a little bit.
Yeah, she kicks Cheetor in the face.
Yeah, which you took to mean something.
Yeah, just the way she talked to him, What would she say to him?
Next time?
Like I'll get you next time. And then she kicks him. Next time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, she likes him.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily take it as that. I think it's more just her type of character.
Okay.
Like the femme fatale.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like she talks like that to everybody. Which, I mean, we haven't seen. No. Obviously, we just
haven't seen enough, yeah.
But again, it's nice to see somebody like she just straight kicks him.
Yeah.
You know, like no guns. I mean,
Cheetor didn't do a thing.
He even shoots off her legs and stuff. She's just walking straight through it. Like she's kind of a badass. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, she's pretty great. I mean, she's a Predacon. Yeah. But she's still pretty great.
Yeah.
All right. It's time to get down to the countdown to Beast. 19 weeks until the beast rise. We're getting closer, man. That's crazy. 19 weeks. Can't wait. This has been the countdown to Beast. Now let's get into war. What is it good for?
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
War!
So here is how the war has progressed. Episode 7. This episode marks the first time that the Axelon has fired its weapons since it crashed. After Rhinox's initial attempts to boost long-range communication by building an external communication device back in the web, the Maximals appear to have incorporated some improvements to their internal communicators. Although the stasis pod itself is out of range, Rattrap manages to communicate with the Maximal base whilst a considerable distance away. So we're even seeing things are getting better. The fact that Rhinox can just MacGyver this shit is crazy, you know?
Rhinox should be in charge.
Over Optimus?
Over Optimus.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, he's definitely he definitely feels like he should be number 2. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's the rocker to Optimus's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's see. After the previous episode softened Rattrap from his initial extremely obnoxious personality down to a more palpable, slightly obnoxious, this episode marks a shift in Dinobot's behavior. He volunteers to go out first to check for a potential ambush on Optimus, and then he later asks Primal for advice. He seems to have gained respect for the Maximal leader, even when he thinks that Optimus is dead, and he talks about holding a glorious funeral rather than attempting to take command. By the end of episode 8, both teams have gained one new member, bringing their totals to 6 versus 6. So for a moment, the Maximals were ahead, 6-5, and then immediately just, they had to even it back out.
Yeah.
I gotta say, especially the more protoforms that we get, they definitely, they don't stay equal. As far as I remember, they don't stay equal all the time.
Yeah.
But it's always shifting.
Yeah.
They very much were pushing toys. We, maybe not so much in season 1, but in later seasons, we definitely are getting it's not overwhelming by any means, but it is new characters coming, old characters going. It's a lot. All right. Next up, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
So this week, we welcomed, in episode 7, Tigatron. And in episode 8, Blackarachnia. Honestly, Blackarachnia, I feel like, is a mainstay of Beast Wars. She's almost like the Tommy of Beast Wars, Yeah. And so, it's just crazy that she's not so much in that Tommy was evil and turns good, more in the way that, when you think of Power Rangers, you think of the Green Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, Blackarachnia is definitely, on the front of all the boxes,
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy that she wasn't there from day one.
Yeah.
Tigatron, as you can see in his episode, he's not always there, which is an interesting choice to not just have him always be there. But so he's not as front and center.
Yeah.
But he's definitely a linchpin of the series as well.
I really like how he looks.
Yeah.
Even though he's a reskin of Cheetor.
I do too. He was, I always preferred his reskin or whatever to Cheetor's.
Yeah.
Him and Silverbolt is also another one of my favorites, which you'll get to meet at some point. All right. Next up, That's just Prime. Words of leadership we learned from Optimus Prime.
Well, that's just Prime.
So this week we've got one. Episode 6, he says, sometimes crazy works. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, hey, sometimes crazy
Thanks
works.
for the words of wisdom, Prime.
Think about it, Optimus. Everybody.
Well, that's Prime.
That's just Prime. Next up, Traitor.
Raider!
Traitor.
In episode 6, Terrorsaur fights and destroys Megatron to become the new leader of the Predacons. Megatron says, Terrorsaur, you treacherous worm, I'll finish you forever. In episode 8, Terrorsaur once again betrays Megatron. Megatron says, and thus ends the glorious reign of Terrorsaur, a lost battle, a missing Blackarachnia, and who knows what damage inflicted by the Maximal spy. It's a glorious reign. Rattrap in episode 8 is also portrayed as a traitor. But you talk.
However, it was a part of the... but in fact, he was a double agent. There we go.
I don't know what happened there. No, you're fine. All right. Now let's get into Transformers references. Part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
You become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
All right, everybody. Episode 5 features the fairly awesome debut of Rhinox's Chain Gun of Doom, occasionally called the Chain Gun of Command after this episode. It also involves the first time Waspinator is blown to scrap.
Poor Waspinator.
He's great. I love it. That's his gag, man. He blows up. That's it. It's so good. It's
And a
just
big
good.
old boulder just fall on him.
Dude, that's what's great. And like they look for the more and more ridiculous ways to just blow him up. It's great.
Really?
Yeah, it's so funny, Maggie.
Wow.
Like, nah, that's an ongoing gag. It's
Oh
great.
my
It's one of the
God.
best gags. Episode 6, Terrorsaur eating the bird in the beginning of the episode may be alluding to his on-package bio, where it is said that he ingests entire flocks of birds by flying open-mouthed through their flight pattern. He apparently didn't have much of an appetite in this case.
Wow, that's what that dinosaur did.
What are you doing? What?
The top of dinosaur that Terrorsaur is.
Yeah.
That's what it did. Like it would fly through things out
Oh, wow.
of its mouth
I don't know.
open.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Rattrap plays holographic cards. According to the Cybertronics text, he's playing Old Maid.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have thought he was playing poker.
Something.
Yeah.
No, Old Maid. Episode 7, we are introduced to our first stasis pod and protoform of the series. This one's fun. In the 2007 Transformers movie.
Yeah.
When they first, like when, we find Bumblebee and he sends out the signal for people to come and then the asteroids come in. That's kind of
Oh,
that, yeah.
okay.
I mean, obviously it's different. But I mean, when they pop out, they're not yet transformed into vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're like protoforms.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have like that kind of generic metal look to them, which is what a protoform would have.
Gotcha.
Before it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. And then in episode 8, the Maximal chip is labeled in Cybertronics. It says "Caution, very hot."
Wow,
you didn't know.
these are some real gems.
I bet you didn't know Cybertronics was that deep, did you?
No.
Yeah, early on, they're definitely trying to prove themselves as their own show.
Yeah.
But they do start leaning more and more into mythology and not only with just its Autobots and Decepticon stuff, but also with its own mythology.
Okay.
Like we learn more and more about the planet. Obviously we've already seen the first interaction with the alien tech. That becomes an overarching story in the series too. So they definitely start leaning into that more and more. So Maggie, we are 8 episodes in to Beast Wars.
Yeah.
How did this set of 4 hit you?
I really liked. Let's see. I'm trying to remember.
You want me to tell the names?
Yes.
So we had the last episode, Double Jeopardy, Fallen Comrades. That's the one with Tigertron. Power Surge, with Terrorsaur, and Chain of Command, and that's the one where the Rattrap and that's the one with the pod, the alien pod.
I really liked the Power Surge. And I like Double Jeopardy.
Yeah. Power Surge was actually one of the first episodes I watched.
Yeah.
Like, it was, again, it was in syndication, so I didn't get to watch it all the time. And it would play before the Fox Kids run. So, like, you know, Fox Kids would run, like, 3 to 5, and then, like, 8 to 12 on Saturdays. And this would always play at, like, 2:30 or 7:30. And so, like, very rarely could I watch it, but one of the first times I got to was on a Friday. School would let out at 12:30. And so I went home and turned on Fox Kids, and this was playing, and it was that episode. And I was like, this is really cool. Yeah. And then, like, I woke up early one Saturday, and it was playing an episode from season 3, and I was super lost. I was very confused. About what was going on, and I was like, nah, I think I'll hold off.
Yeah.
And then Fox Kids actually picked it up and played them in order, and I was like, okay, I'm getting all this. This all makes sense.
Yeah.
But they played it, Maggie, they played it concurrently with Beast Machines.
Oh.
So, like, you'd get a new Beast Machines on Saturday, and then you'd get 5 episodes of Beast Wars. So, like, by the time you actually got caught up to where Beast Machines should be, like, half of Beast Machines had already played.
Behind.
And so, I mean, I was trying to watch it, and I was very confused. There is a lot of things, Maggie, that when you first start Beast Machines, it doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Like, comparative, like, if you've not seen Beast Wars.
Okay.
So it won't be that confusing for you. But, like, if you just watch these episodes and then start Beast Machines, you're like, I think I missed a lot. I'm pretty sure a lot changed. It's very confusing. All right. Anyways, so as you were saying.
It. I really like Power Surge because, because Terrorsaur gets, you know, the bejesus scared out of him. And I like Power Surge, not Power Surge, Double Jeopardy.
Yeah, Double
because,
Jeopardy.
My bad. Double Jeopardy because, I mean, their Rattrap gets to go inside the, the Predacon ship.
Yeah, the dark side.
Yeah, the dark side. And the fact that Terrorsaur again overthrows Megatron. He is the Starscream of the Predacons.
Some people have theorized that those episodes might be out of order.
Yeah.
Because in the first time in Power Surge, he says something to the effect of, I thought you learned the first time.
Yeah.
When you tried to overthrow me. And so, like, I mean, we just assume maybe he'd done it in the past.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe he found out about his truce with Dinobot.
Yeah.
You know, during that whole little thing. But I mean, and so maybe, like, when Blackarachnia goes missing at the end of that episode, that's why she wouldn't be in Power Surge.
Yeah.
Because she's not there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I figure just because he's relentless and he doesn't give up.
I mean, yeah, we knew.
Everybody's got their own agenda. Apparently, if you're a Predacon.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. That's part of the banner of Predacons. Every Predacon for himself, and yet we want to rule together. Yeah, it's never gonna work.
No, that's not teamwork.
No, Predacons don't know what teamwork is.
No, they don't.
Thank you for actually bringing up Power Surge, because I forgot to do another segment that we have, which is called Drugs, but it's Energon.
Oh.
What's OxyContin?
That's right, everybody. So, in episode 6, Energon is shown to affect Terrorsaur much like steroids by overpowering him and causing a surge in anger and muscle tone. So, we'll see some more stuff like that throughout the series. But this is the first inkling we get of that.
Yeah.
I really like episode 7, introducing, the first stasis pod and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that goes on to be a pretty big trope of the series.
Yeah, I really like seeing a new Maximal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun. And like, every time it happens, it's kind of exciting because, you don't know what they're going to be.
Yeah.
Are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? What form will they take on?
Yeah.
Especially in later seasons, they start doing things a little bit different. And it's fun and interesting to see what that becomes,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as vague as possible. But also it kind of hits that part of my brain that really loved when like a Digimon would digivolve into its next form for the first time, and getting to see what that is, like Patamon becomes Angemon and like, oh, this is so cool. And so getting to see like new characters join the show and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's a fun trope. And like, I love that they worked it in so easily as a way to introduce new characters. They're like, we're just going to spit out like 100 of these. Yeah. And like anytime we need to put a new toy in here, we'll do it, and like it won't feel off, they won't be like, oh, another spaceship crashed or some crap, so I think that was a very good move on their part. So 8 episodes in, how you feeling? Are you glad we're still going down the Beast Wars?
Yep. Still chugging along.
Do you think you're gonna have a bigger appreciation for Rise of the Beast when it comes out, having watched this?
Yes. Now
let me ask, thinking back to the trailer, do you get more excited thinking about Cheetor?
Well, the only one that stands out in my mind is Optimus Primal,
which sounds totally different.
Yeah,
like I mean, it's what's his name, Hellboy.
Yeah,
Ron Perlman.
Yeah,
and it's like that does not sound like Optimus Primal from the series. Which I mean, it's fine.
It's fine,
understandable.
Yeah,
but like, and he's huge.
Yeah,
like based off of what we're seeing in this show, Optimus Primal looks.
He's supposed to be the same size as a gorilla.
Yeah, but in the movie, he's like
humongous.
He's like Mighty Joe Young all of a sudden. I love that I went Mighty Joe Young and not King Kong. No. I could have gone King Kong, but I went Mighty Joe Young.
No, I think he's Mighty Joe Young. Big.
All right, everybody. Next time on Beast Wars.
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
We're going to watch 4 episodes next week. We've got episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that'll be episode 9, A Better Mousetrap. Episode 10, Guerrilla Warfare. Episode 11, The Probe. If I remember which one that is, I think that's a good one. And episode 12, Victory. Think about that. Also, first 12 episodes, I feel like is probably, if I had to guess, I would say they were picked up for 12 episodes and then got an extended after it was doing okay. So that could have been like, I'd have to double check, and we'll find out next week. But I believe Victory could have been built to be a series finale if it had to be. Or at least wrap up some loose ends. I mean, it doesn't end the Beast Wars. But no. It's, just in case they didn't get to make any more.
I want to know why Terrorsaur eats animals.
Birds. Well, we'll find out next time on Beast Wars. It won't be next time. But hey, remember, if you'd like to watch Beast Wars, you can watch it for free over on YouTube under Al's Replay. That is where we are watching it. We don't owe them anything. They don't owe us anything. No. Like, we just, I found it on there. I was like, this is fantastic. Yeah. Like, it's in 4K. I don't have to grab the DVDs out of the basement. So, like, just want to give them a shout out every time. And hey, if this is your first time watching, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane with Beast Wars, going back to Beast Wars. Again, this is Hopefully Awesome, your positive, nerdy, fun place on the internet. If you'd like to get this show ad-free and audio version, you can head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome, where you can get that and also other exclusive content like our weekly board game show and our monthly movie commentary, as well as many, many other things. But if you have no money to toss our way, that is totally fine. We completely understand. You can simply support us by leaving a like on this video. You can also hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, letting us know what you liked, what you didn't like, and all those things help the algorithm gods pass us on to more and more people that are just like you. So be sure and do that. You can follow us on all the things. But until next time, thanks for watching, and as always,
have a hopefully awesome day.
Maximize!
Terrorize!
Jeez.